Hey guys, today I want to take you through my inside leg workout. So I'm gonna explain why I do certain exercises, why I think they're beneficial, and just everything around it, okay? But before we start, I'm gonna take you through my intro workout nutrition, which I think is important in order to make our workout more effective, okay? Just to bring our workouts more intensity, okay? Because as we train, we deplete our glycogen stores and we can refuel them while training, okay? So I'm gonna show you what I do. So regularly I have 1.5 liter of water with cyclodextrin, about 80 grams, okay? With some EAAs and creatine, electrolytes, a lot of shit. Alright, so I gotta weigh everything. So we're just gonna put it in there. Always make sure you weigh in everything, at least I do. We're gonna use this. What do you call this?
A funnel.
A funnel. See, I'm still learning English words after 10 years. And there we go. 80 grams of this. See, it's not even working properly. Yeah, it does. I just bought it yesterday. But yeah, it works somehow. Anyway, this is gonna take too long, so I'm pretty much gonna get my intro workout ready and then I'm gonna into the training, okay? So my current pre-workout is Total War by Redcon, which is pretty good. Just enough caffeine to make the workout a little bit more focused, okay? Which is good. Always make sure you have some kind of caffeine. Not too much though, because you might feel a bit too stimulated, which might take your focus away from the workout. So just make sure you know what you get in, okay? Right guys, I'm gonna get this ready and I'll see you on the workout. Right, we're gonna begin with cardio, or I wouldn't even call this a cardio, it's more like a warm-up. So what I do, most of my workouts, especially on leg days, I usually like to start with a warm-up. So I do 5 to 10 minutes, okay, just to get some blood into the muscles, okay, which is gonna prepare us for the exercises ahead. It's not always a good idea to jump straight away into exercises, okay? You might be risking to get injured, and that's what we don't want. Now, my goal is not to burn any calories. I'm purely trying to get my mind ready, get focused, okay? So I always blast some music, visualize my exercises, what I'm gonna do, and just get mentally ready for it. All right, now we're moving into the first exercise. I'm starting with hamstrings. The reason being is my hamstring is my weakest body part. Quads are overpowering my hamstrings, therefore I'm choosing a hamstring exercise as the first one. That's the only reason. I like to start with leg curl. In my opinion, it's one of the best exercises because we are not using our lower back at all. With other exercises, there will be a lot of lower back involved, which is not ideal, okay? It's gonna just put the focus away from your muscle which you're trying to target. So I'm just doing my warm-up set first, okay? I like to do about 2 or 3 warm-up sets before I move into my first working set. But there is no rule on how many warm-up sets you should be doing. Just do as many as you need to get yourself ready for the working sets, okay? Now remember, the whole purpose of warm-up sets are just to prepare yourself for the main sets, okay? So don't waste your energy, don't go to failure on those sets. Just make sure you are getting connected with the muscle, you are feeling the muscle, go heavier every warm-up set, and then when you're ready, go to your main sets, okay? That's the logic behind it. Now, I'll be performing 2 working sets. One set is gonna be 8 to 10 reps, which is gonna be the heaviest, and the second one will be higher rep range, anything between 10 to 15. Okay, and on those sets I always try to progress every session, and that's where we get the results. And as you can see, after every set, I'm tracking my numbers, okay? Which means I'm writing down the weight I did and how many repetitions I've been able to perform. And my goal is to try to beat the numbers the next session, okay? So I'm always trying to progress that way. But remember, never sacrifice the form, okay? But make sure you are progressing in certain way. Right now, I'm moving into my quad exercises. So what I'm doing now, I'm doing one set of leg extensions just to get connected with the muscle, okay? I don't count the reps, or I'm not focused on the weight either. I'm just trying to get my mind connected with the muscle, get some blood in there before I move into my main quad exercises. Now moving into my second main exercise, which is leg press. So what I'm doing now, again, I'm preparing myself for the first working set. So I'm just getting the feel for the machine, okay? I'm getting some blood into my quads, okay? And just getting ready for the set, okay? So it's always good to do a couple warm-up sets so you actually prepare your body for the main set. So I'll be doing 2 working sets here. First set is gonna be anything between 6 to 8 reps, okay? And the second one will be higher rep range, anything between 10 to 15. So let's get the first set started.
Alright then. Yes! Oh! Wasn't I too loud? Oh shit. I'm gonna pass out here.
I did really feel like I'm gonna pass out on the first set. Right, so we're gonna move into my second working set on leg press. Couple key points to remember. We need to make sure our body is constantly fixed into the position, okay? Our lower back is not raising from the pad, okay? That might make your back weaker and you might get injured over time. So make sure as you go down, your lower back is stable and it's not moving at any point. Now we need to make sure we are controlling the movement throughout the whole movement, okay? So that means as we go down, we are making sure we are feeling our quads and we are not just dropping the weight, okay? That's what most people do. They just drop the weight and then push up the weight. That's not the way it's supposed to be, okay? We need to make sure we are feeling the muscle throughout the whole movement. As we go down, I'm contracting my quads before I even push up, okay? And that's the key point here. Another important factor to remember is we need to make sure we are pushing the weight with our heels and not our toes, okay? That will direct the tension more into our quads. So try it out and you will notice the difference. Right, this is my last working set. So I did 2 working sets on leg press, and now we're gonna be moving into my third exercise, which is gonna be hack squat, and I'll be doing 1 working set there. So I'm gonna be warming up again, just couple sets to get a feel for the exercise before I go into my main set. So I'm just getting feel for the exercise before I move into my first working set as always. Now, as you can see, I'm using resistance bands. The reason being is we are putting the highest amount of tension on our quads at the bottom part of the movement because of the mechanics of the exercise. But as we go up, we're gonna start losing the tension on the quads. Now the bands will allow us to keep the tension throughout the whole movement, even at the top part of the movement, which makes the exercise more effective, okay? So I do recommend using bands. And remember guys, you don't want to be fully locking out, okay? That will only put the tension away from your quads and put pressure on your knees. And that will may cause you injury over time, so make sure you're not fully locking out.
It's 8 reps, right?
Moving into leg extension, which is my last quad exercise, okay? Now we're gonna be doing higher rep range, anything between 10 to 15 reps. I'm gonna be doing only 1 set, okay? Now, the purpose of this exercise is to just get the blood into the muscles, so I'm not doing anything heavy because my quads are already fatigued from the previous heavy compound movements, okay? So this is more of the metabolic work, which means we are going for the pump and higher rep range. So the couple key points to remember, as you can see, I'm holding into the handles and pushing my ass. It's something you can't see. I'm pushing my ass against the bench, okay? So I'm pushing my ass into the bench, which is gonna allow me to contract quads better. It's gonna direct the tension into the quads. So you need to make sure your body is fixed into the bench. Now remember, we are controlling the movement as always. So as I go down, I'm feeling my quads. And as I go up, I'm holding it at a peak contraction for a second and really squeezing my quads, okay? Now as you can see, I'm doing some partial reps, small reps until failure, and then we all done. Moving to my 4th exercise, which is single leg curl, okay? So I'm gonna be doing 2 working sets here. Now, the purpose of this exercise is again just to focus more on the metabolic work, so I'm going for the higher rep range. The first working set is going to be anything between 8 to 10 reps, okay, which is going to be heavier, and then I'm going into second working set, which is going to be 10 to 15, okay? So I'm already pretty fatigued by this time, but we still gotta be pushing hard. So a couple key points to remember. We need to make sure our quad is pushing into the pad, okay, which is gonna direct the tension into the hamstrings, and our body is fixed into the bench, okay, and we are not moving anything than our hamstring. So that's something to remember. So this is my last hamstring exercise, and then I'm gonna finish with calves. Moving into my last but not least exercise. So we're gonna finish with calves. I'm gonna be doing 3 working sets, anything between 10 to 15 reps. Now, I'll do alternate the calf machines because I do calves 3 times a week. It's a small muscle group, so we can do them often. Personally, it's one of my weakest body part. I pretty much have no calves, so they need to be hit as often as I can. So that's all done from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you learned something and it has been useful to you. Give me some feedback, please, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Yes. Yalla. Yalla.